Hello. Welcome and thank you for clicking this video. My name is Nikki and this is Not Another Tea channel. So I posted on my community page about what had happened to Doug Live from Northport. And I didn't plan on making the video about it. I'm not going to pretend I followed him or watched him or anything like that. And I seen that there were already people making the videos. I just kind of wanted to, send my thoughts and my prayers to know that I have heard what had happened. It touched me, and I will, I'm keeping him in my thoughts and my prayers, and that's horrible. I noticed that I had an uptick of people subscribed to my channel after making that community post. And I do want to tell you that I usually make videos who go after people I feel that exploit families and cases. Not saying that's what Doug was doing. I actually went through because somebody left a comment underneath that post and pretty much said he got what he deserved. And my first thought was, damn, that's harsh. I don't care. As you guys know, if you do follow my channel, I don't like Benny Keys. I can't stand Benny Keys. I still would never want to see something happen to Benny Keys like that. I don't think even exploiting these cases and all, I don't think it warrants somebody being beat or harassed or stalked, publicly. And I'm going to get in that to a little bit. So I wanted to go back because it's what I do. If I'm going to actually stand up and talk about somebody, I am going to go back and make sure I do my homework, that I'm not putting false information out, because that is my main problem with all these channels, is they put out false information. And so I wasn't going to cover it, but then I started listening to these channels. Molly Go Lightly, Dolly Vision did one, Bullhorn Betty did one, Jays for Justice, Justice for, everybody was talking about it. And I seen stuff, it just became a circus. Like everything they do, everything they touch, it becomes a circus. It becomes a mess. I really wish they had something like a wristband that you could put on these people and try to see, what is their intentions? Are their intentions really good? Are they wanting to help? Or is their intentions to get the views and the clicks and the attention on them? Do they really care about these victims, or do they just want the attention on them? And I bet you I could pretty much say that most of these people in this small circle, there are a lot of really good true crime channels out there, and that's why you don't see people going after them, because they are good true crime channels. They treat cases with respect. They don't put out false information. But there's this circle of creators who do that. And those are usually the ones I talk about. So I want to talk a little bit about what they are doing. I want to talk about a little bit more about Doug and what had happened. There have been people saying that, he was brutally beaten. There was an altercation. I will read the police report. Really, that's all anybody should have read, was the police report, took the information from the witnesses. We don't need people adding more stuff that you don't know. Doug had a pacemaker, so he had heart trouble. So it probably wouldn't have took very much for, him to be hurt. I guess him being in this altercation, it probably got his heart racing. It probably got him up and going. And I think that's really what happened. He was scheduled to go for heart surgery today. He was supposed to, but it has now been postponed until Monday. I don't feel like we need to make things sound worse than what they are, because it's already a bad situation. It's already a horrible situation. We don't need to add on and make things up, because a lot of people can see through that, and then they just see a mess. That's all I see. I'm watching these videos, and you have people who are taking up fundraising, taking donations up for him and his family, please do not donate to any channels. He has his own PayPal. He has his own links. You can donate directly to him. I believe his family members, they have some PayPals and all that. I was going to try to put it across my screen. I don't know how to do that, but I will put Doug's direct PayPal link below this video. Please do not donate to anybody who states that they're donating money, but you send it to their PayPal, but they'll make sure that he gets it. Please don't do that. Don't do that. So I do want to read a little bit of what the police report said. I had to print it off because I can't see, so I have to make it a little bit bigger, and hopefully these glasses will help me read. So, okay. So this other guy who attacked him, he has his own YouTube channel, and from my understanding, he's been on YouTube for like 8 years. He's been on YouTube for a very long time. I'm not really sure. I know that these two met around the Gabby Petito case. So going back to when I went all the way back to Doug's first video, and that was covering of the Gabby Petito case. As I stated, I don't like people. I feel like if they are interfering with cases or stuff like that. I did not pick that up on Doug whatsoever. Was he there? I think to me, it seemed like he was more just trying to report like the news. He wasn't the one screaming and carrying on and acting a fool and making it a circus. He kind of stepped back. He was videoing. It was like the media. He was just capturing what was going on. I don't see a problem with that. I know in the very beginning, some people got the Dougs confused. They thought it had he was the Doug that has to do with the Summer Wells case. There are two different Dougs. But he also does these videos where he patrols. He listens to the police scanners, and when accidents or something goes on, he drives over there. He don't get all up in with his camera and what's going on, interfering with the stop or nothing like that. He stays back and he just videotapes and talks. So that person who made that comment about, well, he got what he deserved, all comments are welcomed. I do ask people to please be respectful. We can agree to disagree. I didn't agree with that comment. I thought that comment was very harsh, but it got me thinking though, because as I started to talk to this person, they made a comment and they said, well, if it was my family that these people were going after, and that's another thing. I don't feel like we need to put everybody in a box, like gossip channels, tea channels. We all get put into one box. So I get put in that box as a gossip or tea channel because I am a commentary channel. My name's not another tea channel. But I hate when people put me in this box. Just like the Chroma creators. A lot of times we don't look at these Chroma creators as different people. We put them all in one box of nasty creators who do nasty things, and we put them as one. And I'm guilty of that too. And I really need to stop that too, because I'm guilty too. And I think that's why some people automatically put him in that box, because they thought, he was the same as the others, the Molly Golightly's, the Bullhorn Bettys, I keep getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. That is what I do here. I get sidetracked so easy. So anyways, I was reading her comment, and it got me thinking more though, because I shouldn't say she, I don't know if it was a she or a he, but they said that they would do the same thing if it was their family being harassed. Who's to say what, I would do if somebody was outside my home screaming and carrying on and digging into my personal life and trying to get all my personal information. Again, I'm not saying this is what Doug's doing. This is just talking general. And that got me thinking, because I'm like, I can't say what I would do, because I may lose it. Just like the Watts family, they went through so much. Would we really blame them if, say, Frankie went outside and hit somebody or started to fight with somebody who was screaming and carrying on and calling his sister and his nieces saying these horrible things about them, would we really blame them? So that got me thinking. I don't know, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't coincide really what happened here. I don't feel like that's not what this all came about from. My understanding is, really, I don't know. Like, I would really like to know, like, what was his problem with Doug? The only thing that I can think is he's had this channel for so long and he hasn't really got very much recognition. And Doug has, I don't know if I wrote down, he has a lot of followers. He has a lot of people that watch him, people who don't even really watch him that kind of know of him. They say he's a really nice guy. He's laid back. He's sweet. I don't know if it was jealousy that came from this. I know there was some talk about there may have been some personal stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to further speculate on that because that is not factual information that we know about. So I'm not really sure. There was said something about they met at a local restaurant and just something little was exchanged between them. I don't know what created the obsession. But, however, there was an obsession because he even admits it in this police report that it started 7-8 months ago, and he stalked him. Jason admits he stalked Doug. This wasn't the first time he went to his house. He would follow him around. Let's read it. Let's read the police report. So he actually was charged with burglary, occupied, convenience, unarmed, and a battery, touch, or strike. Like I said, I have to print things off because I cannot read. So, on Saturday, June 26, 2022, at 9:56, the Northport police officers were dispatched to Northport, Florida, in reference to a battery. The caller advised that there was a physical altercation and CPR was in progress on the victim. The caller also advised that the defendant had left the scene. Once officers arrived on the scene, they made contact with blank, 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 to referred to as the victim, was lying on his back on the ground in the front yard of blank, 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 and not breathing. Officers started CPR and Northport Fire Rescue arrived on the scene moments later and started life-saving measurements. NPPD was able to obtain a pulse from the victim and transported him to, and I'm not going to say the hospital's name. All this information is out there. It's got a lot of personal information on this police report. I know it's going around. The one I'm reading, it's retracted. But even this little information about like which hospital, I do ask if you are a creator and you're sharing this information, just don't even put the hospital because people are calling and harassing the family at the hospital. The family has asked everyone to just give them their privacy, The victim's residence had surveillance cameras and the exterior and, on all corners of the house. So the cop was able to view the camera footage, which recorded the entire incident. The following is a description of what they witnessed. A dark in color vehicle comes to a stop in front of the victim's vehicle. What appears to be a heavyset male subject exits the dark in color vehicle and approaches the victim's driver's side window. The subject is seen reaching in the vehicle's window and appears to strike the victim, and a physical altercation ensues. The victim then exits his vehicle. See, it says that a physical altercation ensues, so he's still in the vehicle at this time, so I'm sure he's probably punching in the window. And my guess would be Doug's either probably blocking, maybe, trying to get him out of his vehicle. So then it says that the victim then gets out of his vehicle. He exits the vehicle and pushes the heavyset male, who then pushes him back. So again, they're getting ready to start brawling again. Doug gets out, pushes Jason. Jason is the other man that I was talking about that has the other YouTube channel. So he pushes him and then he pushes him back. So it's getting ready to ensue again. It's getting ready to get more physical. But then the family comes running in and breaks them up. So at this point, you can see two females exit the residence and approach the victim and the heavyset male subject. Both females separate the heavyset male from the victim before any other further altercation. The victim can then be seen walking towards the residence and then collapse. So, being that he had that pacemaker and stuff, he already had those health issues, all this commotion, obviously it messed with that. So then that's when he started to have his problems as he was trying to walk back into his home. He collapsed on the ground. He tried to get back up and then he collapsed again. The victim crawls on his hands and knees and goes back to his feet before collapsing again in front of the yard, closer to the front door of the residence. At this point, the heavyset male gets into his vehicle and leaves the scene. So then there's about the victims. They took the victims or the witnesses, what they had to say. Now I got to read this one on my phone, which is going to be horrible. But this is when they spoke to Jason. They called, they got him down and asked his side of the story, what happened. And I'm actually very surprised he admitted to a lot. So bear with me because it's really hard to read. On June 26, Jason can be referred to as the defendant voluntarily came to the police department to be interviewed. All right, so he came to the house on the night of June 25th, 2022 in an effort to confront the victim about their ongoing YouTube dispute. That's crazy to me that it led to this. Any type of YouTube, beef or problems you have on YouTube led to going real life. And I ask, because there are creators that I see who are putting this action down of how horrible it is that they've gone real life, and they want to fight against these bully channels, as they say, but they are joining forces with other creators who are doing the same exact thing, like JLR. He has doxed. He's put real people's information out, and the same thing that happened to Doug could easily happen to the people that he's doxing. You can't disagree with one and then what are we doing? Ignoring the other one because he's our friend? If you can be friends with JLR if you want, but you as a creator and subs should call out this behavior and let it be known, like, we don't agree with doxing. That's not okay. I don't like doxing. And because I feel like there are some subs who like it, like I've seen people literally saying, "Go, Jonathan, you're fighting back." That's horrible. We need to say, this is not acceptable. Somebody could go harm this person because of your actions of putting their real information out. And I bet if more people stood up and said that we don't like this isn't cool, that people wouldn't do it. All right, so it says the YouTube dispute. The defendant admitted that he approached the victim's truck, leaned into the open driver window, and then reached into the victim's truck and forcibly grabbed the victim's cell phone out of his hands. The defendant also confessed that he put the victim's phone into his pocket and tried to get in the victim's truck. That's weird. But was unable to do so because the truck was locked. The defendant went on to say that after the victim stepped out of the truck, they engaged in a mutual struggle until the two women pulled him off the victim. Now, see, that makes me seem like there was more. Pulled him off the victim. I don't know. After the defendant saw the victim collapse on the ground, the defendant got in his car and drove off. This is the cop talking. I was able to corroborate the above confession by the surveillance videos. During the interview, this is what I found interesting. During the interview, the defendant also admitted to stalking the victim for the past 8 or 9 months. He described one episode in which he learned of the victim's location via a live YouTube video and then located and found the victim's truck. The defendant described how he aggressively maneuvered through traffic at high speeds to catch up to the victim, and then blew his horn repeatedly in an attempt to get his car and chased after the victim on foot. Oh, wait, sorry. He tried to get the victim to pull over, going high speeds, so he could accost him. I'm not sure what that means. If you know, please tell me below. The defendant related another episode in which he got out of his car and chased after the victim on foot after seeing the victim at Burger King in Northport. The defendant also disclosed that his visit to the defendant's home on the night in question was not the first time that he was at the victim's house, and that he had been to the house months ago. In addition, the defendant revealed that his wife, blank, has been communicating with blank, the victim's girlfriend, via text message about these events and the ongoing months-long dispute between the victim and the defendant. The defendant also disclosed that he conducted extensive online research with regard to the victim and personal information, in addition research about the victim's mother to include her home address and personal business ventures. Wow, so he's really searching, and I guess his girlfriend was talking to Doug's about the events that were going on between these two. I am curious if he ever relayed this information to YouTube. All right. So, talking about, I wanted to get that out of the way, to please just stick with factual information, and to let you know the update that he was supposed to have heart surgery and it's been postponed till Monday. But there are things that I am seeing that I'm not caring for from these other creators. One is Bullhorn Betty. She went on to her channel and seemed to make it about her cause and all that, which I think's crap. We just need to keep Doug in our prayers and not try to make this this narrative about us or what we're trying to do. And I could go into details about why I think Bullhorn Betty is so wrong on doing that. Again, people who are taking donations up and having it sent to their PayPals or whatever, please don't do that. He has his own link. Send it straight to him if you want to help. Again, that will be in the description below. I want to make sure. Oh, and then I watched another video where this lady was literally talking about how horrible it was that somebody would take this aggression and start to fight and literally, as she would say, beat this man, and how horrible it was. But in turn, talked about how she wanted to beat him and his girlfriend. It was a bunch of just trash bop stuff. All that's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Make sure I got everything. Oh, there is a channel. Okay, there is a Facebook page if you want to follow what is going on and get updates. And that is the Doug Live Northport fan page. Again, even on that channel or on that page, people are putting out false information. People are doing hearsay, making accusations up, putting personal information out. I don't get it. I don't know if it's because people are just that nosy that they want to know all this information. I don't understand it. If somebody knows, please let me know. This video is already long. I just wanted to, and also that Stern Squad, the Jason, the man who did this, his YouTube channel was Stern Squad. That channel is gone. He's hid it or took it down. I guess he had several videos about Doug. Again, he's been harassing Doug for a long time. Let's just not get caught up in all the mess that these other creators are trying to make this about them. It's not. It's not about them. But I will talk to you guys later. And if you haven't yet, give this video a like, subscribe. That'd be great. Hit the notification bell because you just never know when I'm going to go put a video out. And as always, Please stay safe, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye, guys.